Meg Benedicte, who is going to share an activation with us, but we're also going to talk about Zep Tepi and the star-seeded divine human, the 12 root races that created our planet. It's really fascinating, and I want to welcome back Meg Benedicte. Thank you for being here, Meg. Welcome.
Thank you, Loren. Always great to connect with you and everyone who's joining us today. I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you.
Wow. So you are one of many in this year and actually years prior, a growing desire to visit Egypt. Can you, as we start here, let's start with how you heard that call yourself, why you felt the importance of that, and what
Yeah,
that was like.
seems like everyone's going to Egypt. I'll look everywhere on Facebook. Everyone I know is going to Egypt. So it's a big year, I think.
And can you imagine if time stood still in that place, we would be with everyone. Definitely weaving energies, aren't we? It's just spectacular. All right, tell us.
Okay, so I'm going to go way back to about 30 years ago when I had my spiritual awakening and I started having visitations with Archangel Metatron and beginning to learn his method. In a way, it was my human self was learning the method because my soul already knew how to do the method, but it was working in quantum vortex, which is basically kind of like an anti-gravitational device. What it does is it unlocks us from the linear time, the particle field that we are all born into and kind of locked into. And so what it did is it allowed me to start to kind of time jump and move in and out of different realities, different timelines, different realms. And so I would like lose hours. Some weekends, it was just be gone. I'd be going to trance state and drop in and learn, just observe and learn and gain more understanding. And one of the places I kept getting pulled to was Zep Tepi, Egypt. I had no idea what this was, never had heard of it, but I just immerse myself into that timeline well, my soul kept pulling Metatron, my soul kept pulling me there. So I realized, okay, maybe there's some significance to this. I don't understand it yet, but let me just see what's happening there. And it was somewhat like kind of like a Star Wars movie opening because it was a civilization of all these different star beings. They all looked different and they had different characteristics. And but they were all in a collaborative community together. And I'm thinking, this is wild. What is this? And so the more that I watched, I saw that they were organizing with the angelic guardians. So this is why Metatron is really, interested in this timeline. And I began to realize I was also there at that time, but coming in more as an angelic spiritual being, not physically. I wasn't there incarnated. I was working from the other side. So what I began to observe is that they were creating this new human prototype. And by, in a way, weaving together what the 12 different root races were combining. And when we talk about 12 root races, we're talking about the multiverse. This is not just, Pleiades or Sirius in this little Orion belt, you guys. They're coming from other universes to, and in a way, create this kind of experimental new human prototype. So I don't even know the names of all of them, but I can see that they were very advanced and they were fueled by light consciousness. And so when they began to kind of star seed this prototype, it was fascinating to watch this new human. it's because we're here in a very dense particle field, right? We're in matter. Our atoms are dense and hard and locked in. They were not. They were, in a way, kind of this dynamic morphing field that responded immediately to the consciousness that would run through it. And so it was shape-shifting constantly. It was fascinating to watch it. And I thought, my God, what happened from then to now where we're so dense, right? And we aren't even, consciousness is barely even running through us at this point. And that was profound to me. That was like probably one of the reasons why I was drawn there, was to see where we came from and where we are now. Because what's happening on the planet is we're coming like a full circle to be able to ignite that or activate that or awaken that dormant code, the Zeptepi prototype that is still in us. It's just been shut down, right? The density field just locks it in. So as I would pop over and drop into that timeline and begin to learn and observe and see how it's going, it's hard to even know how old this is. Some historians are, just theory at this point, 50,000, 100,000 years ago. We don't know. And at this point, it's almost kind of a myth. But the fact that I would be able to literally pop into that timeline and observe it tells me it's more than just a myth. This is really ancient earthly history. And so this is 30 years ago. So I'm now kind of put on this trajectory, right? Pointed by Metatron and my higher self are like, okay, we have to get from there to here, right? We have to be able to bring this alive within us again. And this is part of what was my understanding of what we call the new earth, right? This is the new golden age. I would say that would be maybe the original golden age, and this is where we have an opportunity to expand and access 5D quantum possibilities and begin this process of awakening this within us. So I've known for 3 decades I would at some point have to go to Egypt, but it never felt like the right time, right? And I every year be going, oh, we go, no, it doesn't feel right time. So last year, especially then, I'm just home for 3 years in the pandemic and nothing's happening at that point. But then last year, I started feeling like, okay, I think it's coming. I think it's, and that's when how spirit guides us, thinking, well, how am I going to get over there? How am I doing this? And I was alerted to a tour that was taking place in April this year, led by a historian, Kathleen McGowan. I was very excited to team up with her because she's one of the few who talks about Zeptepi. Most of what we call, the spiritual or new age community, they are not talking about. They're not even aware of it. They're not looking at it, but she is. And so that's when I knew, okay, she's my guide. She's the one I need to go to because she will show me what I need to know and where I need to go to work with Metatron and open up these Zeptepi gateways again. And so that's how it came about too. And I think it's interesting too, Lauren, this year, because it is a 7-year. So it is the year of the mystic, but it's also what I noticed this whole year I've been noticing, but especially when I was there in Egypt, and especially when I led a retreat in Mount Shasta on the 777 gateway. And I'm beginning to see this year is so potent because we're kind of like we're laying in tracks, right? We're laying in foundation. We're putting everything in place as we get ready to go to next year, which is an 8-year, right? It's the year of abundance. It's the year of infinity. Like it's the year things are going to really pop. So for everybody who's listening, know this is kind of a foundational year, or, and getting things open and active and in place for what next year is going to bring through. So I thought it was very interesting that it was all the timing of it was this year.
Yes, all right. Well, really fascinating that after 30 years, you
I know.
followed that call. And this illustrates the point that timing is everything. And so the conditions were set straight. Your guide was given to you. I mean, it all fell into place.
Yeah.
And so you mentioned the Zep Tepi gateways. Wow. And that now they're open.
Yeah, so I knew I was probably working the whole trip, right? I knew this wasn't really a vacation. This is me following my own soul blueprint as a gatekeeper, and I think because I was there present with the 12 tribes at the original seeding, the original civilization, I had, like, think of it like kind of a key code that I could go and open the gates up again. So I knew this going in, but I didn't know how we were going to do it. So first day we arrive at the Sphinx in Cairo and go up to the Sphinx. And I can pull up the pictures if you like. I can show you. Let's see here.
And, so when we're talking, as you're doing that, when we're talking about the dormant Zep Tepi codes, is this also related to our DNA that's coming online?
Yes, because it is the 12 strand crystallized DNA of the 12 tribes seeded races that's been dormant, and that's what's waking up now. Now we have a chance to really light it up. Because this has all been tucked away. This has all been in a way, the two realms have been not connecting. So when I first got there, that's when they're saying you're going to start to open up these kind of interdimensional gateways. So now the two realms can begin to interact, right? We can actually start to access the Zep Tepi energies that are flowing now through the gateway into our timeline, into our earth plane. So when I first started at the Sphinx, so there's a lot of hieroglyphs in this granite here, as you can see in the image. And I was just guided to go, and so whatever key codes I have from being there originally locked in to the hieroglyphs, and all of a sudden I saw kind of like a sliding door open, and on the other side was the Zep Tepi realm. And I was like, okay, it's real, it's here. We just started opening the energy, and it just blasted out. I mean, I'm going to have to tell you, it really was too much. It was like, a tidal wave hit me. It was so strong. And so when we work with these energies in a bit, we're going to take it nice and gentle, okay? Because this thing just blew my circuits. It blasted me out. I had extreme vertigo and vomiting the whole time because I was bridging the two realms, right? And I was just trying to hold the gates open and bridge the two realms. So now they're flowing in at a much, I think it was almost maybe like, the gate was closed for so long, the pressure was building up. And so when it opened, it just just blew through. So we started at the Sphinx, and then we went to the, let me see here, Giza Pyramid the next day. Okay, that's not what I want here. Giza Pyramid. Okay, there I'm at the Sphinx. Then we went to the Giza Pyramid. We went into the King's Chamber, which is deep inside into the pyramid, and began opening. And that was interesting. That was more almost like golden plates opening underneath into the catacombs of the pyramid and opening up to the Zep Tepi realm that way.
Wow.
Then from there, we went to Edfu, and this is the Horus Temple. And what's fascinating about Edfu is, and this is where Kathleen really helped me, because she was able to explain that. Let's see here. I don't know why this isn't working. I'm pulling up everything. Oh goodness, that's not what I want. Hold on, you guys. I'm having a walked into the Horus Temple. This is kind of the main entry when you come in. If you look at the top of the ceiling up here, these are engravings, and they're from ancient history. They called the 12 root races, they called them the primordials, if I can say that word right, primordials. And you can, let me get a closer look. So this is where we already have evidence of these creator gods that came here from the other universes. They called them the primordials, and they began to seed this new divine human race. And this was at the temple of Horus in Edfu. Then from there, what I do want to show you was the here is at Philae, which is the Isian temple, and I was working on opening up the gates there because the Isis lineage is so powerful in what's coming into the planetary field right now with the divine feminine, right? This is the Isis Magdalene lineage opening up for us. So this was at Philae at the Isis temple. Then we ended up at the ancient Osirian. This isn't even open to the public. This is one of the reasons too why I wanted to go in with a tour, because she had private viewing and we were able to spend a couple hours here. This is the original, we call Zep-Tepi temple. And if you have heard about the Assyrian, you would also hear that etched into. So if you look at the central slab right in the center there, that's the gateway. That's the Zep-Tepi gateway. And embedded, literally laser etched into the slabs of granite, is the flower of life geometry. And this is where they think this could be easily 100,000 years ago. And how did laser etching happen in 100,000 years ago? This brings up a lot of questions. And how did they know about the flower of life? And that's the template of creation in our universe. Like, how did they know this? This is the fractal extension of Metatron's cube. So somewhere in here, I had a picture of me at that slab where you could actually see. I'm not seeing it now. When we connect in, I want everyone to kind of get an idea of this in their mind, because this is what we're going to connect into, is this gateway, this Zep-Tepi gateway of the Assyrian. All right.
When you were there, did you feel as if you walked that land before?
Yes. It was, actually, I was in kind of a trance state the whole time. I was like in there and here at the same time. And if you look over to, let me bring this slide up. If you look over here, underneath this granite boulder is an opening, and you go inside the temple. And it's a room that on the wall are a lot of carvings, and one of the big carving is of Metatron. And so we went inside after I worked on opening the gate there at the granite slab with the flower of life. We went inside, and there's probably about 30 of us, and we formed a circle. Kathleen asked me if I would, lead the group in an activation. And so we were starting to tune into these new Zep-Tepi energies that are coming through the gateways. And all of a sudden, I ducked because Metatron flew right in, full wingspan, went into the center of the circle, and the energies were astounding. And he helped open up the gate inside the temple as well. And it was kind of like those gold plates opening, and it went down stairs into the other realm of the Zep-Tepi civilization. And all these different star beings started walking up the stairs into the room with us. And I've never seen anything like it. Of course, this is me using my psychic brain to see all this. But it was just such a like a homecoming, it was just such a celebration, and I felt just like kind of being touched by the divine, like really feeling the power of it, and being able to honor what's my own contribution, if you want to say, right? My own contribution to the activations. I did want to share this one too. So I work in PowerPoints, Earth chakra. So Egypt, the Giza pyramid is the throat chakra of the grid, and I'm here in Mount Shasta, and I go up to the top of the mountain, and I did this a couple days ago, and weaving the PowerPoints together with the Zep Tepi energy. So this is a Mount Shasta is the root chakra. So this is why I've been at Mount Shasta since 2012, is to ground in the new Earth timeline, really anchor in and ground in this awakening that's happening of the star-seeded prototype within us. Okay, I'm gonna stop share
That
here.
looked like a little dragon, the little
I know it was, and it was growing right out of the tree whirl, which is the central vortex portal of the mountain. I know it does look like a little dragon. It's protecting the portal.
exactly. All right. This is amazing, and I could feel the energy. I know we can all we're all receiving the energy. It's a transmission just hearing you talk. When you look at it was at the Assyrian temples, the Zep Tepi, the Assyrian temples, it seems like it's sunken. Well,
Yeah, well,
land
yeah.
has come up and been built or blown sand around it. Have you contemplated how deep that is? That's like so old and so original.
So I think there really are catacombs underneath it. Also think like Giza pyramid, that's not the original pyramid, right? That's been built on top of other structures from way back. So when I am in the Giza pyramid, psychically I can see there's like levels below it. There's quite a bit below it as well. Yeah, it's
So, maybe we need to go into a little bit of the story before Egypt. We know about Lemuria and Atlantis, and how does this all relate? How does the timeline relate to Lemuria and Atlantis? I guess when that was all shifting and going through their collapse or demise.
way before Atlantis and Lemuria.
This was way before.
Yeah,
Wow. See, that's kind of new. I don't know how many of us know that actually.
it's way
We're
before.
always kind of taught that it's all right. So it's the foundation of the earth.
Well, it's definitely the foundation of the human race. Let's call it that.
Okay.
It's the original, let's say, visitation of star beings here or creator gods here to start a human race. Um,
Wow.
and it's they're coming from a 12th dimensional multiverse, and they're bringing in their 12 seeds, let's say, that form the 12 crystalline DNA of this original 12 dimensional human prototype. And we're here now, we're just 3 dimensions. Like, this is not cool. I mean, I want to become that morphic field, right? I want to be alive and literally, like, whatever is flowing through you, you're starting to mirror it. You are this quantum dynamic being. That's what I would love to experience before my time here is done on Earth.
Oh, you are on your way. All right. So let's go back to the energies that you felt there. It's really fascinating. I've heard, okay, because this is an awakening of the divine feminine, that when women travel there, and not just women, men as well, but when women travel there and if they're clear and on point with no extra baggage, like light body has been activated, dropping density has been taken care of, that they are, do I want to use the word drunk with the energy? Maybe a little bit of blowing circuits.
It blows circuits. It does. It's overwhelming. This was the first time like a human body has experienced these Septepi energies, probably, in 100,000 years. So
Uh,
my body was like, whoa, what are you doing to me? It was really rough. And it took me like a month coming home to even integrate and be able to get back on my feet and feel strong again. It was
wow.
overwhelming. It is so powerful.
Good work.
Thank you. Oh my God, I had no idea what I was getting into when I went there. I was like, all right, I'm trusting this is going to be okay. But yeah.
Oh, and so the dream space, when you were there, was there anything remarkable going on in your dream space?
No, I was out. What was happening though is I was definitely operating at quantum level and that I could have both brains functioning at the same time. So I was able to see with my human eyes what was happening, where we're going, the physical realm, and then see through my right brain and more of my psychic eyes so that I could see on the other side what was happening in that realm. So it was, for me, it was really a great experience of living both, both brains, both particle wave state, right? Full quantum in being able to, and to respond in every moment what's happening, because it was a lot was happening. We were there at Ramadan, we were there in a very patriarchal religious country. They did not like me. Okay. So you're talking about bringing through the more of the embodied, empowered feminine. That was the no, they don't want any of that. So it was very interesting, kind of juxtaposed to, again, the contrast of where we came and then where we are right now. So the more that we are, open and embodying this and living this, right, and just spreading it in the field, this is a part of our purpose here.
Wow. Okay. I know you're going to lead a live activation so we can experience those energies. But I guess my mental mind wants to ask, what do we do with this? And what have you,
Okay.
what are you on task to do with this? Because we all want to step into it. So do we, and so now that we know that it's the original creation of the human form here on Earth, oh my gosh, that's powerful. Before Lemuria, before Atlantis,
Yeah.
that's the ancientness of this. Wow. What do we do?
I always feel Atlantis, I could be wrong, but every time that I tune into the Atlantean timeline, I get pulled back, just 26,000 years. So this is way older, way older. So, and also too, it felt like in the Atlantean timeline, yes, there were alien races coming here, but they didn't all feel benevolent, right? It didn't feel like what I see with the Zeptepi star-seeded 12 root races. They were all here with a very united focus, right, of creator gods to birth alive, with love and reverence and the crystalline consciousness to create this human prototype. So it had a very different vibe than what I always pick up in Atlantis. Even when I was there in Egypt and I would peer through, kind of the jello wall or whatever you want to call it, into the other side, into the other realm, the Zeptepi realm, it was still magnificent, right? It was still glorious. It was still so high in its agenda and in its focus and in its energy. It just felt like such a extreme blessing to even be able to not just see it, but to be able to feel what that's like, because we don't have access to that here in the lower 3D 4D earth plane at all. This is new. This is new energy. And this is, so what does it do? So I've been working with it since May, since coming home. And there's more coming. So of course it's just, easing into it and observing it and watching what it's doing. So there's a couple of things that I'll share with you what I'm already noticing it's doing. One, if you are really resonant with it and you feel a connection to it, it will start to open up that memory in you, right? It will begin, so you're going to start to have possibly flashbacks or just feeling really drawn to it. Or so it's because this is all in you, right? It's all there. So you will have more memory of that. I've been having people like they'll book client sessions with me because they saw, I just saw something that you did on Zeptepi and I had to connect with that, so it's lighting people up, right? They're beginning to awaken to it and remember it. The other thing that I noticed too, so you're bringing it into your body, right? You're bringing it into your chakra pillar, right? Into your light body, into your chakra pillar. one of the first things I noticed, and this probably was part of why I even didn't feel so great, it gets in and it's starting to purge the lower 3D human chakras. These are, the root, sacral, and solar plexus. This is where we carry so much of our density, so much of our earthly trauma and memory. And so it just goes to town in there, right? It's just beginning to really move. So it creates almost like a repelling, right? It starts to move that history. This is the earthly history in what we call, the shadow matrix or whatever. It starts to move that out of you. It's I see things through the holographic realities. And so what's happening is we're shifting out of an old operating system, which is a hierarchy, right? Top down hierarchy, patriarchal operating. It's a power system. It's an imbalanced power system, masculine dominant, imbalanced power system that is slowly in demise, right? That is finishing, that is completing, and we're able to shift into a parallel operating system on Earth, what we call the New Earth system. It's a circular, collaborative, community-based system. No one is higher or lower than each other, right? It is a unification. It's unity consciousness, right? Unification, new operating system. So we had to get into this new system to even birth alive a new Zeptepi, right? Because it's not going to ever happen in the old shadow matrix, right? That's why it's been hidden, right? That's why it's been dormant. There was no way it was ever going to be able to awaken again and arise again. And in my opinion, that hierarchical, patriarchal operating system is left over from Atlantis. This is like the debris, that Atlantis left us, right? It's this imbalanced power system. So as we shift from one to the other and get into this new Earth system, into the newer timeline, it gives you the opportunity to rapidly accelerate your transformation. So that's how the Zeptepi energy is helping us. It's getting in there, and it's going to start to purge this energy. Don't be surprised, if you experience that, and it could come out in lots of different ways, right? And it can be energetic, or you could be running to the bathroom, who knows how this is coming out, but it's going to start to move that, clear that out, because what's happening is as we rapidly transform, and these codes start to turn on, we're completing with that 3D human chakra pillar. I've been noticing it. It fades. It starts to dissolve. It starts to departiculate. And in its place is your soul pillar, right? So we're not only migrating from one power system to another, but we're also migrating from the old 3D human chakra pillar that you were born into this beautiful soul crystalline pillar. Even the old 3D human chakra pillar, it looks like, you can see it. It has like the really kind of dense, harsh prime colors, right? Red, orange, yellow. This soul pillar is crystalline pearlescent. It's gorgeous, and it's absorbing, and it runs on your soul light and your home starlight. So this is uniquely yours. And once I got into the soul pillar and started living from it, everything changes, everything improves. You're able to really immerse yourself in the new Earth timeline now. You're able to access the universal abundance, because that other hierarchy system doesn't let us do that, right? So this is where, people are saying, I have blocks on the abundance. Well, get out of that old system. It's not designed for us. It's only designed for the controllers at the top, right? You have to get out of that system so you can begin to open up, live in your soul pillar. The other thing is, I noticed the human chakra pillar is very, very narrow, right down the center of the body. And it's so dense, it's hard to even get any light into it. But the soul pillar is actually bigger than your body, encompasses. It's like, think of it like your new container of light. And as I got into it, I was like, holy moly, okay, all kinds of soul energy can come in now. My soul gifts, my soul wisdom, like my abilities are getting stronger. Everything, it's kind of like an incremental, gradual expansion of your container, and then more of your divinity can come in and power up. Also, I've been noticing with the Zeptepi energies that it's starting to pull the soul clusters together again. So, okay, so how do we extract? It's kind of almost like the geometry of Metatron's cube. You have the original God spark that fractally expands into 12, the circle 12, which all 12 extrapolate into 12, extrapolate into 12. So these are what's called soul clusters. And within a soul cluster is the same resonant frequency. So all in the soul cluster are vibrating to that unique same kind of energy signature or vibrational frequency. And we've been scattered all over the place. You know, some are in human form, some are still in the spiritual realm. But what's happening is as you get into your soul pillar, right, you start living in the soul pillar, you're pulsing now your own soul's pulse of singularity, right? You're starting to, it's like you're beeping out there, right? You know, and it's starting to pull the soul cluster together, which is exciting. Well, another thing that I noticed as I started to feel them here on Earth, and I started to feel them around me. So, you know, it's going to be both. They're going to be in both realms. But as you're emptying out your human template, right, you're emptying out your human chakra pillar, right, you're starting to just kind of drop it all out and replace it with your soul light body, your soul pillar, and your own galactic divine presence in your soul pillar. We begin to connect and access our soul cluster's unique divine feminine and divine masculine energies. And this is what I've been pulling inside me, because up until this point, I was just kind of working with this kind of generic feminine and masculine, which was fine. It got me to where I needed to be, but it wasn't mine. And so as the soul clusters start to vibe, right, they're beginning to magnetize to each other, they're starting to pulse, you can begin to bring in your soul cluster, divine feminine, divine masculine. They're mirrors of each other, and they start to merge and blend and balance within your pillar. So cool. This is really exciting. This is then that unification of your soul cluster, divine feminine, masculine should start to pull them to you even sooner, right? Even stronger. Because now you're embodying it. Now you've filled your container with it. Now you're pulsing with it even stronger.
Wow. Yes, that is embodiment. Wow. We want to shift. We want to shift. We want to live from that soul pillar. Okay. So as we live from that soul pillar, it's a consciousness. And this activation that you're going to do is help bring that more online. And then living from it is just being aware of this, remembering this.
Well, it was an active step that I kept hearing my higher self and Metatron saying, get into your soul pillar. I was like, oh, because I could see it, but I was looking, you know, outside of it. Like, get in your soul pillar. I was like, okay, I'll be damned. All right, this is a new step. So as you are clearing and finishing, right, you know, and just kind of letting the that old 3D human chakra pillar fade out or erase out or kind of just drop out or whatever, continue to bring in your own unique soul light to you, because you want to get this light body turned on, right? This is dormant. Okay, we're talking about kind of holographic terms. Your light body is a hologram waiting in your field for you to turn it on. So as you're beginning to finish up with kind of the mindset of a human 3D mindset, right? You know, linear time and everything's dense and everything's separate from me. That's all the old system. So as you clear that out, you opening to more of your own higher divine soul mindset coming in, right? Beginning to see now through the eyes of the soul, being able to speak the truth of the soul, right? You're filling your heart space with more of your divine soul energy, and all that combined will help you kind of step into your hologram of your light body and pillar. You begin to, your own energy, your own focus, right? Your own commands, you're turning it on, you're lighting it up.
Okay, beautiful. It is the journey that we're on, and getting rid of the old chakra system, just getting out of that. It's a mindset. I love how you say it's a
It's
mindset.
mindset. It's a holographic reality. We've been born into it. We don't have to stay in it. Think of it as that's kind of my 3D human reality. That's my human mindset. It's probably dominated by the ego. You don't need to be in any of that anymore. You do need to clear what's held in that old chakra, right? You need to clear that. So that's part of the purging we're doing, and the Zeptepi energies will help you with purging that out. You're just kind of dumping it. You're letting it go. You don't dump it into the field. You send it into. I'll show you how to work with the vortex. You can send it to source light. So you're transmuting all of what's left of your earthly history. Some of us have incarnated a lot. Some of us haven't. I've only been here a few times. But I came in as a walk-in to somebody else's history, which was quite significant, and having to heal and clear that out. Again, going back to holographic terms, think of it kind of like this is your human template. You're going to empty it and erase it so it's neutral, right? It's blank, and then your soul fills into your human template.
Oh,
Lights it up, turns on the light body, getting into your pillar.
sounds wonderful. And so before we start that activation, I just want to ask, so like still clearing out the chakras, still clearing out the density that could be in there. So if we get triggered and some others' energy are in our field, do we need to worry about clearing out those chakras anymore? Or will we naturally know when we're done and we can just activate and step into this soul pillar even more?
That's a great question. So if you get triggered, and triggering is actually a great way to alert you that you still have some charged energy in you, right? That's what I watched. Anytime I was triggered, oh, okay, I got some more of that. So let's say you're triggered, maybe you feel betrayed or you feel violated, whatever is the trigger. I I use Metatron's technique, so I use the quantum vortex to start moving that away. All right, ooh, I can feel all this coming in alive in me, right? Feeling betrayed, right? And so and it's layers. So you start working off the kind of the mental, emotional trigger of feeling betrayed, right? You begin to move that energy out, and as you're working your way down, you start to get to the root cause of that betrayal. And that might be where you are sensing, there was maybe something happened in your childhood or with your parents or in a past life. This is where you start healing that original wound. So it's gone, right? It's done. It's transcending. It's dissolving. This is the healing process we're all going through. I feel the Zeptepi energies are helping accelerate that, so it doesn't have to be, months or years of working on that wound, right? You can really get a good hit like, whoa, I felt really betrayed in this moment, let's say with my sister or my mother or however it worked, or my best friend or my boyfriend or husband, right? Whatever it is. And you can keep the Zeptepi energies alive in you because that's what you're rising to, right? That's what you're transcending to. You're moving from 3D dense emotional triggering, right, to becoming this divine being that is you. So hold that as that's your goal. That's what you're heading towards. You can hold that as your vision and just ask whatever is left to do here to resolve or heal or clear away so I can completely activate my own divine human template inside me. Like
Beautiful.
from here to there, you hold, because everything's holographic. Once you start to actually get up into the 5D quantum field, you begin to realize everything's holographic. So you just hold the vision of you as you are materializing into the divine human and ask what's left to deal with so you can live that. And that's how I've been just fleshing stuff out.
Beautiful. Okay, so happy flushing, everyone.
I know.
It's beautiful because we would tend to, be a little resistant to the triggers or chaotic
Yeah,
energy.
yeah, it doesn't feel great. Yeah.
So great, but now we know what's on the flip side. And so that's what is exciting about it. Okay. Wow, this is wonderful. I know we're all sensing the desire to really feel into that soul pillar and to activate that soul pillar and to hold the vision of that. So let's go into the activation. That will be beautiful.
Yes, and we're going to go pretty expanded. So I don't know if you wanted to answer questions before that, Lorraine, because we are going to go like, whoa, we're going to go pretty expanded.
All right, let's do some answer some questions. Here's Arietta first says, just a few days ago, I received an energy on the top of my heart.
Hmm.
Then I passed through stroke like. I will very appreciate much if Meg can offer a scan or some clearing, or maybe even some advice on that. Thank you, Meg.
Do you have an idea of where the strobe light was coming? Was it from within you, or was it outside your field? Did she? She didn't say anything like that. Let me just check.
Yeah.
Feels like it was from within your field. It also feels like it's galactic light coming at you. So it's whenever anything happens like this, I immediately ask, so higher self, you want to talk to your higher self. Always, I talk to my higher self all day. Talk to your higher self. I would first ask, is this mine or is it external? That's where I kind of start. Is this mine or not? If it's mine, okay, why is it here? Like start creating this kind of like your own intranet in your pillar to your higher self. You want to start to have this kind of two-way highway communication going with your higher self so that you can navigate what's happening, because this is all beyond what the human has any idea of what's going on. This is way beyond what the humans used to. So I first ask, is it mine or not? If it's mine, what is it doing? Why is it here? Why is it happening? How do I work with it? So that felt like it was from your own field. It feels like it's actually intergalactic light coming to you. It feels like it has awakening consciousness in it. Did you say it was at the heart?
Mm-hmm.
It's helping to actually open the heart bigger. We need to open our hearts. We need to clear and heal whatever is the wounding in the hearts. I had so much wounding to clear through in the heart, opening the heart, because the heart is your magnetic engine of your light body, right? We've got to, and that's the home that we're trying to bring the soul down into. And it's also your receiver. If you start to open up your pillar, you begin to receive the universal abundance coming to you, the downloads, light language, all of this is coming down your pillar. You want to bring that all into your heart and fill yourself and nourish yourself with it, right? You replenish yourself with it. So heart work is very important. I don't think anyone's been in this matrix without having some wounding, some trauma, that needs to be dealt with, because it's just a brutal system that we've been living in. So I would have her ask her herself to continue to help working with her and the incoming light to heal, mend, repair, and open bigger heart center.
Wow. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. And Arietta, thank you for sharing that experience. Linda has a question. Can we truly embody the energies of all 12 strands of DNA activated in this lifetime?
That's a very good question. That's kind of the experiment we're doing right now. Can we? I don't think we could have in the old system, and I don't think we could have in the 3D human chakra pillar. It was not designed for it, so no. I think the more that we finish with that and we extract from that and we start turning on, lighting up our own light body, getting into our soul pillar, then we have in a way kind of an infrastructure that will support turning on more and more of those crystalline strands. Each one of the 12 strands connect you to the 12 dimensions. So we're moving from, 3, 4D, 5D quantum field, keep going. The more that you're able to transmute and clear and release of the earthly history, the old system program. It's like software at a computer. You got to get that out, get that mindset out, be able to become this beautiful open receiver of your soul pillar, pulling in the new galactic energies, your home star light, your soul light. I do believe that, and this Sept Happy energy is helping to remember and reawaken the up to 12 DNA 12 dimensional access. That's a big if. So we will see, but I think also the majority of the human race is not there yet. I do think we see more and more awakening. This year has been pretty phenomenal, right? More and more awakening, more really starting to open to more heart compassion and wanting to join in community, right? Collaborate with each other. So we are seeing it happen, but I don't know how long it's going to take. I think those who are really resonating with this and like myself, who are getting concrete guidance to do this right now, as you mentioned, Lauren, there's a timing thing happening here that we have to recognize and honor. And I would say if you are on this path and you are lighting it up and you're starting to live it and starting to turn on, you would call yourself like a new earth way shower. You are here to show how to do this. You are here to spread this in the field, right? You're here to guide others on how to do it. And I do believe that the potential is there.
Hallelujah. Okay, beautiful. Thank you for that question. I'm going to combine two questions. It's kind of flip side of one. Is this for everyone? Do you have to be at a certain consciousness level? That's one part of the question. The flip side of that is, what will happen to all the people who aren't on board with ascension?
Yeah. Yes, you do have to have the left right brain starting to open up to even understand what we're doing here. So yes, you do have to be at a level of at least 5D quantum consciousness to be able to understand there's so much more than this particle field. The particle field is actually a minority of the non-particle field, right? The non-physical is vast. The particle field is so much smaller. And so the more that you're opening up left, right brain, you're removing the veils, you're being able to access both wave state and particle field, right? The quantum state. And you're beginning to gain more and more of your understanding, even of who you are and where you're from and why you're here, right? What's embedded in your soul blueprint for this incarnation. That's your master plan, why you're here. And so the more that you open up to that, the more your higher self, your inner drive is to accomplish this. There's a lot of souls on the planet who are just new human souls. They're not visitors. They're not star beings from other advanced civilizations. This is their home, right? This is where they're starting. And so they are they're going to be able to take advantage of what we're infusing into the field. We're helping them wake up in a way, right? We're pouring high dimensional light consciousness into the field, helping, and also we're being helped, of course, by the galactics and all the solar activity that's happening, right? All the galactic waves that are coming in. Like it's happening on all levels to kind of awaken those who are, especially the human souls, the new souls, to be able to go possibly beyond 3D, 4D to 5D quantum access. All of it is a choice. All of it is, we are in a free will zone. Nobody is going to be forced into any of this. It will all be available, especially as the way showers are more vocal about this and moving this out there, right? And teaching this and offering this. All of it will be an option to stay in the old hierarchy power system or to move over into the new earth circular operating system and begin to live a different way. All of that is, they are two parallel timelines active right now on Earth. And everybody has a choice which one they want to go to. If they decide to stay in the old system, they'll continue. That's a reincarnational system. So they're going to just continue to reincarnate in that timeline, in that system. We will begin to, see more of the bifurcation of the two worlds pulling apart. We're going to just see where we'll be more focused on the new communities, right? The new Earth communities and the new way, the new inventions and the new way of being in harmony with Gaia and healing, the waters and the land and the air and all of this. So this is happening now, and it's only just going to get more contrast between the two timelines. You look at the news and you see all of the death and destruction and greed and all. That's the other system. They can choose to stay in there if they want. But I think there's going to be enough of us that will be public and visible and active, and they'll start to see these communities are real. They're going to see that they're very successful. They're going to see how everyone's healthy and happy in them. And maybe they'll get curious and decide to investigate into this a little bit and probably, hopefully choose. But this isn't about what they decide. That would be just our own ego trying to get involved in that. We honor everyone's choice. We honor where everyone's at, and we continue to fulfill our own blueprint, right? Our own purpose for being here.
Yes, beautiful. And
I do want to say something too. This might be part of what I see this running in the New Age community for years, because I've been at this for 30 years. And I've done a lot of their big conferences and expos, and I've been doing them for years and watching, kind of what is the story they're all putting out there and channeling and all of this. And I just want to say that I walked in 94. Within those 5 years, I began to feel like the original plan, let's call it plan A, isn't happening, because everyone was so locked into that hierarchy system, right? And into the Atlantean mindset. That's really what that is. It's an Atlantean mindset. And it had a real hold on humanity, a real lock on human consciousness. And I'm thinking the original plan was the entire planet would ascend, bringing all life on the planet with it into higher dimensional access. And it started to alarm me. And I'm thinking, this isn't happening. This isn't going to happen. And so over time in my interactions with Metatron, it began to. That's when the New Earth came through. I opened up my own website, New Earth Central, 20 years ago, because that's when it realized, okay, we're going to actually have two timelines available here, because the original plan was didn't have enough human consciousness at the level that it needed. And so what's confusing, I think, for some is you may see or listen on YouTube or read something where they're still got plan A running in their mindset. You hear about this. Oh, there's going to be like a big tidal wave of energy and it's going to just lift this all up. Okay, this is the old plan, you guys. This is outdated for over 20 years. This is not, it's almost like someone's got the plan running and looping, right? They haven't pulled out of the matrix yet. They haven't pulled out the Atlantean mindset yet. They haven't pulled out of that hierarchy power system yet. And so that could confuse you, especially if you're reading this or watching this, where they're predicting the plan A. I actually had to pull the plan A out of my software, right? So that I could open, and that's part of what, like you're doing, Loren, and I'm doing with this New Earth focus. We're replacing that old plan software with this new option. And it's been, in the works and building. It's a holographic again. So it's a holographic timeline that many of us started working on and forming and building for the past 20 years. And especially in 2012, that's when I was guided to move to Mount Shasta from Los Angeles and really start anchoring the Plan B New Earth timeline into the root chakra of Gaia so that it would come alive for everybody to be able to access. So I just wanted to kind of give a little bit of that background to you, Loren, on where we're seeing kind of like two very different predictions or storylines out there.
Yeah, well, thank you for that clarification, because we all want the new to come in and we all are ready for that. Everyone watching and listening to this program is well aware of that and wants that. I know that. That's why we're always saying hold the vision of New Earth and get off that old timeline. Very interesting, because in 2012, December 21st, we all came back from our ceremonies and was looking around going, well, where was that little flash of a love hug? 8-second tidal wave of love. Where was that? And so we're doing it one heart at a time with conscious intention, right? Conscious intention. And so here's just a couple more questions, then we'll get to activation. Judy asked, so is setting intention and visualizing stepping into the soul pillar, is that needed?
Yes.
Okay.
Everything now is holographic. So as you go quantum, everything's holographic. So everything needs to be visualized and you feel it as if you're already doing it. And then you command that your energy go into it. If you can't get the vision, get a picture of it that you look at. But everything is holographic. So everything is combination of electro and magnetic. Electrical is the vision. Magnetic is the feeling body, right? The heart. So you're combining the two. You're combining your visions, your intentions, your commands, and you're feeling what it would feel like. And that then brings it alive in your field.
Okay, beautiful. And here's another question. If we open and connect with different grids and timelines, do we need to take any precautions within our physical body or all of our bodies to prepare for the interaction and the embodiment in working with it? Or will what comes through naturally flow in the intensity of what we're able to embody and contribute on all levels and correlation?
You determine the timeline you want to ground into. So every morning I get out of bed, I got my feet onto the crystal grid of the new earth, and I ground that as my home base, right? That's my foundation, that's my home base, that's where I'm putting my field onto, locking in, grounding, and you determine the timeline you want to live in. So that's where I would start. Now within the grand new earth timeline, each of us has our own personal timelines, don't we? Right? So you kind of have the subsets, right? You got the big daddy, new earth timeline. Then each of us are having our own personal timelines. We can go through multiple timeline shifts through our lives, right? We get married or we move to another country or whatever. These are big life-changing timeline shifts. So if you're in the process of moving into a new personal timeline, just make sure it's in the new earth time, the bigger daddy, right? The big daddy of the new earth timeline as your foundation, as your home base. And then I don't go into new timelines unless my higher self is guiding me into it, because there could be false timelines, there could be trap timelines. Okay, you got to be discerning of what you're doing and where you're pointing and where you're putting yourself. So I follow my higher self. If I'm feeling really pulled, like that was a big timeline shift for me when I moved from LA to Mount Shasta. It was done within 2 months. It was fast and furious, and it whooshed me, like my higher self pulled me right into it. I actually went kicking and screaming. I didn't want to leave my life in Los Angeles and my friends and my business and everything. So it was a huge blueprint planned shift for me that I had to follow. And so that's usually when we have a timeline shift, is a personal one, is it's already planned in your blueprint and it pulls you to your next destination. I don't know if that answers the question, Loren.
It's beautiful. Thank you. We hope that explained it for you. Thank you. And let's do one more. Sorry, we can't get to all the questions, everyone. Meg will take time at the end to as we say goodbye and read the chat, and we can talk about some of that. But here's another question. So talking about, New Earth and the New Earth communities, here is a question from Patricia. Where or how do we find these communities that are already existing and growing here? Are there physical communities? And what shall I search for on Google? I'm not laughing, I'm having fun with this. And this is where we each just begin to notice where these communities are popping up. It's very subtle, isn't it? It's part of the soul family coming
It
together.
is. It's the
Talking
soul cluster. I would focus on the soul cluster first. I would focus on your kind of finding your tribe. And because you could find communities that aren't resonant at all for you and they're not going to be good for you, right? So focus on activating and coming into your soul pillar, starting to activate more of the magnetism of drawing you to your soul group, your soul tribe. You might have to create one. I'm right now in the process of in conversation with my soul tribe, creating some kind of like an eco village retreat center in Mount Shasta. It's still in, the conceptual stage, right? We're still in the holographic visualizing stage, but we're in discussion about it. And we're already starting to kind of align the kind of a united group mind to build this, right? To grow this. And I know you, Lorraine, are also a part of a community. So I would start first with what is yours, what is a match for you, and then you either will be pulled to one that exists or you're going to create your own. The other thing too, I've been kind of now I'm watching for signs, and my higher self just draws stuff to me on the internet, and I saw that they're even teaching at Cambridge University in the UK the circular system, right? The circular and this is more towards business, but it was like, okay,
yes,
this is out there. This is out there and it's happening. And once you are aware of it, you start to actually catch, where it's happening. You start to see it. Once you're holding it in your own consciousness, it will show up. You'll start to find them.
very good. Thank you. And I think that it will, as we each hold our own, stand on our own 2 feet of light, and we begin to come up with ideas, those communities will form naturally and we'll be attracted to them naturally. So awesome. I love how it's the innovation that comes from this transformational time will naturally build those communities because of the new systems that are going to come about. And so again, it's beautiful. And Patricia, we wish you the best of luck, but maybe you are a leader there. I remember years ago, many people had this vision of eco centers and health healing spas, healing centers. And so they're going to come about even more. And now that it's in the business world, it just makes sense. I mean, look at regenerative farming,
Yes.
right? All that good stuff. So it's
And
happening.
even like new building supplies, right? Where we have hemp concrete, like we're already starting, especially for where I'm at with all the fires here, right? We have to reset all of how we build, how we create homes and communities. Like we're just going to have to abandon what wasn't working and really start to fill in. Like think of it as the void again, right? The vortex fills the void. Okay, so we're having to just like stop what's not working anymore and be able to pull in the new solutions. I truly believe they're available. The new solutions are coming in, especially when you open to the quantum realm. There's more than one solution for every problem in the quantum field, right? You begin to access how we're going to live together differently and build a community differently and interact with the nature kingdom differently, right? Like we'll draw on the ancient native peoples and how they did it, and we're going to add in new invention. Like this is a huge growth spurt happening right now.
Yes. Wow, it feels so good. And as we say in Spanish, poco a poco, little by little, it
Yes.
comes little bit by little bit, and we just do it. And I really feel that it's going to happen as we're bifurcated. It's going to happen within that bifurcation. It's going to happen within the old structure, and it will just naturally replace that old structure because it'll seem like a no-brainer. at one point it'll be like, no duh, right? It makes so much sense. So, okay, beautiful. All right, well, thank you. We hope that we've answered as many questions as that we can get to, because we're really excited for you guys to feel these energies. And so if you do have questions, maybe put that question in the field of this energy and see if you can get an answer from your higher self. All right, beautiful. So Meg, thank you for, oh wait, because we're going to be so expanded, I want you to share more on your special offer. This is a 21-day master class on spiritual mentoring, and this is available in the special offer. Let's talk about that now for just a quick moment, because it's beautiful, and it's a way for people to continue working on this and taking their own journey in a deeper way. So share with us more, please.
Yeah, so this is a 21-day masterclass that I taught earlier this year, and it's a whole self-study program that you can work with on your own at home. What it is it's taking this kind of all-in-one encompassing comprehensive method that Metatron has had me do for 30 years. I've time tested this thing with thousands of light workers, working for 25 years with clients, and being able to apply his method on accelerating your spiritual transformation and all kind of what we were just talking about, right? Being able to open up left and right brain, being able to access the quantum field, being able to use the quantum vortex, which is activated by Metatron's cube, to clear, like it goes both ways. You can clear out very quickly, clear out this energy, and you can use it to pull more soul inside. So it goes both ways, right? Remove and fill in. It's a very, I've been doing this, it's extraordinary what this can do to help you in your process and your spiritual practice. What I found is a lot of times people get busy and distracted and they're not doing any kind of spiritual practice. And I'm just going to be, I hate to be like the school marm, but it really is what you put in is what you get out. So the more that you carve out a little time and invest in your own spiritual development and transformation, the more you're going to receive. So I get it. We can get tired and we can get busy, but making some time, even if it's just 10, 15 minutes a day, of being able to keep your progress moving forward. I continue to advance. That's what this is all about, right? So in this 21-day course, you have 3 video trainings with me, each 3 hours long. There's a lot of information in there, and it's very dynamic because it was with live, big group of students, lots of great questions and answers, and live practice. I'm going to take you through each protocol, take you through the steps, take you through the practice in those videos. You also are going to get ebook workbooks on how to specifically do these protocols, so you can begin to apply them into your life immediately. I also have a 21-day inspiration card deck that's there for you, and I have pre-recorded meditations that you can work with on your own, that I take you through these activations. So because they're all recorded inside the timeless vortex, they are as powerful anytime you listen to them. Even when I'm like editing them and I'm just not even really paying attention, I can already feel them moving energies in me. That's how strong they are. So downloads of specific meditations that you can work on advancing your progress. So it's a comprehensive package, and it's something that is near to dear to me. I'm actually going to be teaching again live. I try to do it a couple times a year. So this one is the most recent that will, and it describes, what is this old operating system that we're coming out of and what is the one we're going into. So it's going to just kind of lay in the foundation for you to jump in and really go.
Beautiful. Again, everyone, that is a beautiful, big, huge, what do I want to say? It's a comprehensive program for working with these energies, no matter where you are with them. And it's a great foundation, and it's a great template to plug into in your life as you go about everything that we've got to do, all the responsibilities and everything. So check that out and work with it. It is quite a gift. Again, it's full of wonderful programs and downloads. So thank you for that, Meg. Again,
Mhm.
check out that where you're watching or listening to this video. It's in the description box. Links are all around. Thank you. Okay. So then now is our space to receive these energies. And so, Meg, we're going to leave you space for this. And as we settle in, what do we need to know?
If you can sit with your feet on the floor, because we're going to use the whole body to ground onto the Zeptepi grid. We're going to connect to what I connected to when I was in those temples. So I'm just going to kind of take you into that space. You can visualize them as I showed to you. Your feet chakras work like magnets. So imagine you're just kind of starting to connect directly to it. I'll get the vortex spinning around you because we do use the power of the vortex to move the Zeptepi energies as they're going to rise up below you from the grid and rise up the legs and into your chakra pillar. So we're just going to start to, begin to ingest them, right? Begin to receive the blessings in them. What I would like to do as well, we could do, I'm just trying not to overdo it, just kind of gently bring this in, but we could do some clearings, especially once we bring it in, we can do a few spin cycles, and just start to kind of clear those lower human chakras, right? You can open and release. This is our earthly history, right? In the old system. So we want to clean those energies out. And then we can also start to work on connecting more to your soul cluster, because this is important, and this is what the Zeptepi energies are helping enhance. Connecting to your soul cluster and your divine feminine masculine energies, the mirror in your soul cluster. This is where we start to embody it. Your light body is holographic. It's in your field and it's dormant. For most people, it's not turned on yet. We'll let the power of this light start to turn that on more for you. Does that make sense?
Yes. All right. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for this.
Okay. So, all right. So let's go ahead and just kind of tune inward. So we've been talking and thinking. Let's just take a couple deep breaths. We're just going to start to focus back inside and into the inhale and exhale. And you're just starting to run chi into the body, moving the energies. Inhale, exhale. And having your feet on earth, feet on Gaia. Beginning to come down now from the thinking mind more down into your body. So you're just moving your focus more into your belly, into your breath, into your heartbeat. It's getting centered and present in the body. Opening up the flow of chi. So go open deep, deep lungs, deep pranic breathing. And then we're going to continue to move the chi running down the leg channels to the feet chakras. And imagine you're extending your energy. This is your life force. This is your light extending down through the feet chakras. First, we're going to connect to the crystalline goal. This is the crystalline grid of our new earth timeline. This is what I do every morning. Run my chi down the legs, connecting through the feet chakras right onto the ley lines of the crystalline grid of the new earth timeline. So we lock in, ground in, you just use your command. I'm now connecting to the new earth timeline as my foundation, my grounding, my home base. And there we go, lock right in. Whew. And then let's go ahead and connect to spirit. So from the heart, we'll connect to divine mother, father, source. And then we're going to connect to your origin. This is your galactic origin, connecting to your original God spark, connecting to your oversoul, connecting to your soul group or soul cluster, your origin, and then connecting to your home star, wherever that is in the multiverse. We connect it through our soul frequency, our soul, our unique soul vibration, our unique soul frequency locks us to our home star, to our origin. All right, there we go. Everyone's starting to lock in. And then as we're working in the field, let's invite in our spirit team. So calling in to surround you with their love and support, your angels and guides, master teachers, the shamans, the elders, your protectors, calling in your spirit support team. We're also going to connect with our beloved Archangel Metatron. And Metatron is the overseer, angelic guardian of this planetary ascension plan. We've got Metatron's cube now. He's embedding it under your feet and your grounding. It's made up of outer 6 circles, inner 6 circles, then a center 13th circle. Imagine connecting your feet into the center, grounding into Metatron's cube template. Okay, there we go. Everybody locking in. And the 12 circles start to rise up as beams of light up and around the body and aura. They're humming and vibing and toning with the 12 harmonic tones we hear as Om. And as they're vibrating and humming, they begin to rotate right to left around your body in a counterclockwise spin, right to left spinning. And as they accelerate, those beams of light begin to blend and merge and form a spinning vortex of light around you. We'll get the vortex up and running, opening and expanding your field up and out into the higher dimensions. Opening out. Ooh, there we go. Good, and we're going to spin even faster towards the speed of light, starting to collapse out any energetic veils or time density, dropping the gravity, dropping the separation membranes. We drop out, opening all the way out to the quantum level. Woo, that's it, go. Whew. And this is where we start to access both the particle field and the wave state, the physical realm and the spiritual realm simultaneously. And there it is, opening up. And it allows us to come back inside, focusing into our light body, into our chakra pillar. So coming back in with your focus, come inside, tuning into your own light body, your own pillar. There we go. And let's go ahead and we're going to start to run the chi down the leg channels to the feet chakras and begin to extend our light, extend our chi, extend our energy below the crystal grid. And we're going to start to connect to this warm golden Zeptepi grid. It's under the crystalline grid because it's ancient. It was earlier than the new earth grid. It's really old. So here we go, just extending our energy to connect to this of a kind of a warm golden grid. Okay, there we go. We're starting to connect. This is to our star-seeded ancestors. This is to the 12 root races and the angelic guardians, the co-creators, the creator gods, the primordials who seeded the 12-strand, 12-dimensional divine human prototype. As we're connecting our energy to the grid, those gateways are open, and we're going to start to open and receive the Zeptepi energies beginning to rise up from the ancient realm, the ancient civilization. They're going to come back up your leg channels and up into your root chakra and start to rise up into your pillar. So just breathe in, receive in, open, and allow them to rise. Whew. All right, here we go. Just going to do it nice and gentle. Whew. And if it helps, you can picture you're standing in the Osarian, right in the gateway there. Or if you want, you can imagine you're in the King's Chamber, in the Giza Pyramid, whichever you're drawn to. Or if you're in the gateway I showed you at the Hathor temple, just allowing, or even the Philae gateway I showed you of the Isis lineage, allow those powerful energies to start to come up the body into your pillar. You just breathe them in, receive them in. Whew. Allow them to begin to engage with your own field and your own energetics. They're already starting to move into those lower chakras. So we're going to use the power of the Zeptepi energies and the vortex that's spinning around you to start to gently lift up, spin out, reverse out, clear out, release out, let go of old density. We spin out. Here we go. Lifting out of the lower body, lower chakras. Into source light, transmutation light. Here comes another wave of it, lifting out old traumas, old memories, old history of being in the dark matrix. Okay, here comes more out, being oppressed or suppressed in the hierarchy system. We burst out, command out, removing out any energetic blockages or barriers or time constraints that were locking you and limiting you, keeping you small. We reverse out, spin out, back to source light now. Release, breathe out, release it out. Woo, more lifting. We move it into source light, transmutation light now. You're setting yourself free from it, letting it go. All right, it goes more out. Whew. Clearing, removing, letting go of your past, letting go of your history, letting go of the pain, the suffering, the trauma, letting go of the memories. There goes more. And as we're starting to clear and open more of your light body, allow more of those Zeptepi energies to be able to move in now into your own biosystem, into your own, into the organs and the chakras and the ley lines and meridians, just letting it rise into you, helping you, transforming you, and awakening, reawakening memory if you have a direct connection to the ancient Zeptepi civilization, awakening that awareness, awakening the visions, awakening the memories, awakening to the truth of who you are and why you're here now. Whew. So opening up more, awakening your soul blueprint in your light body to activate more of your purpose and your service and your way shower dedication and devotion. Whew. Awakening more of your soul gifts inside, more of your soul essence inside, your soul wisdom inside. Whew. Still opening more. Whew. Just allowing more of your divinity to fill in, to flow down the pillar inside you, filling into your light body, activating more of your soul pillar that's replacing the human chakra pillar. Good. Starting to bring more of your energy inside your soul pillar, making it your new home. This is your crystal vessel. This is your power center. This is the container of light you're moving into. Really allowing your soul pulse of singularity to vibrate, to pulse in your heart. Getting stronger, pulse, singular pulse in your heart that starts to pulse out and connect more and more to your soul cluster, your original soul cluster, your soul group, your soul tribe. And as we empty the human template, we empty the human container of the past, we're replacing it, calling in more of our divine original soul cluster, feminine and masculine energies to come down the pillar into your body, feminine into the left, masculine into the right. This is your unique soul, yin and yang, masculine, feminine energies coming in to your container, filling you, and you can see where they're mirroring each other inside your body, inside your pillar, weaving together with the infinity at the heart, weaving the masculine, feminine into balance and harmony and sacred union at the heart. Ooh, here we go. Ooh. Awakening with this up-tap energies, your full capacity of your soul light body to come on, turn on, light up, and activate within you. And as we receive the blessings as they're rising up out of the ancient gateways and the ancient grid, the Zaptepi grid coming in and enhancing us, transforming us, and transfiguring us more and more gradually, gently towards the full capacity of the 12-strand crystalline 12th dimensional human prototype, divine human, star-seeded human. We're setting that into motion now. And so it is. Ooh, so it is. Calling it alive inside us. Ooh. Just helping the human body adapt to it and adjust to it and even expand with it into a bigger container of light, being able to metabolize it in, integrate it in, continue to receive the powerful infusions of the Zeptepi light consciousness, Zeptepi energies, as we continue to evolve, rapidly evolve into becoming the embodied soul, the divine human. There we go. And we set that into motion now. And so it is. And so it is. And let's just stay in that space, stay in that energy. And that completes our activation for today.
All right. Thank you for establishing that hologram anew for New Earth for us. We feel it almost feels electric, but
Yeah.
it's more magnetic, actually.
Yeah.
It really is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And we wish for everyone to hold this again, as Meg said, hold this, carry this,
Yeah.
come back to the replay and do this again. I could feel that Zep Tepi energy, and there were memories.
Good.
And we will close with one last question. I wanted to get to Kate's question, and it's perfect because she had a memory before we even did this.
Mm.
She's like, I have pictured myself as many lives as a ritual dancer during what I think is Zep Tepi era. Can you
Yes.
confirm?
Yes.
I believe that.
You can feel it. Yes.
Yes.
Wow. And it's in a way that's how they looked. They looked like morphing, dancing beings. It was just so dynamic and alive. It was extraordinary. I was so astonished when I started seeing this, and I'm thinking, okay, I want to experience that. That looks amazing. Yes. I also saw that there was someone who's asking who'd I go with to Egypt, and her name is Kathleen McGowan. And if you're interested in more, I'm actually going to be spending October in France with her. She's a historian on the Magdalene Isis lineage and has books and courses and all kinds of wonderful stuff out there. Kathleen McGowan.
Yeah, she's a beautiful guide, a beautiful traveler. And that's so precious that you could join her on such a remarkable trip of a lifetime, really, for you. Only the beginning, though. So wonderful.
Yes. Yes.
Well, you've activated us, and we are flying high. Thank you so much. Again, we want to have everyone come back and do this again. Do this again. It is so powerful. Meg, as always, you just elevate us to a whole new space.
Thank you.
There is a freshness from the old that was moved out of here today.
Yeah.
I truly hope that everyone is feeling that,
Yeah.
feeling that release and feeling full.
Just liberating yourself from that old energy and really starting to birth your divine human now. I am very excited about what's happening this year and as we go into the 8-year next year. So like make this part of your focus. Like this is it. Take advantage of this timing. It's really profound.
Beautiful. All right. We are setting ourselves up for always in every move that we make, but beautiful stuff happening. And hold that vision of New Earth, everyone, and keep doing this beautiful light work. You came here for it. And Meg, thank you, thank you, thank you for this beautiful episode today.
So happy to be here with you. Thank you for bringing me on, Lauren. Always a blessing. Thank you.
And thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful rest of your day, carrying this new light and your soul pillar. Namaste.
Namaste.
This has been a presentation of New Earth One Network, your home for New Earth living. Access information, education, and videos on living from the heart in unity consciousness. Visit newearth1.com.